Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's another edition of the GH MiniSpotlight audio podcast. I'm your host, James Lott Jr. And of course, on this podcast is an extension of our show on AfterBuzz TV called GH Report every Sunday. Myself, Lucretia Lyon, and Frank Moran talk all things GH and occasionally have guests. Now, on this show, I usually just have guests on here, and in the mini spotlights, we talk about people who are on the show, we have people from the show, talk about things going on with the show, all about GH, ABC's hit daytime drama. Well, in this case, for the second time on this program, I found another GH podcast. So for me, as you guys know out there, I don't believe in competition. I don't believe in like us against them. The soaps are dying. There's only a few of us left out there. So I like to showcase and spotlight other people who are enjoying our show. I was tooling around on YouTube one night, and I ran across this cute guy. I think he's in a basement. I'm not sure. We're going to talk about where he's from Canada, talking about GH. And it was quick, it was fun, and he shows clips and things. And the show is called GH Envy. We asked him where that name came from. And I thought I'll bring him on the show. So this show's gonna be titled When GH After Show Creators Meet. Ladies and gentlemen, Deon Gabriel King.
Hey everyone.
How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Good. So I was just like in the YouTube rabbit hole one night, and you popped up on my screen, and I said I thought you were really cute. So he's cute. This guy's cute. Who is he? And I saw that you have several after show, like you do several for different several shows. But I noticed your GH one.
Nice.
And so I said, is he in a basement? Is he in a mud room? Like, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know where he is, or an attic. I don't know where he is. And he's talking GH. And I said, okay, so I want to talk to him. And it turns out you're a fan of our show, GH Reports.
Of course.
So my first thing is, how did you find out about us? Because we're in America and we're online. But how did you find out about us?
So the first time I found out you guys, I think you were interviewing Ryan Pavey.
Okay, yeah.
I think it was his first time on your show, and so I didn't watch it live, but I seen it afterwards. And then I saw that you guys do it live like every week, and I was like, oh, sweet. And then I just stayed tuned ever since.
Wait, so he was your first. He was your first, though. Ryan Pavey was your first. I don't know. Let me rephrase that. He was your first intro to us. I guess that's good. Okay, but wait, so were you looking up GH content, or how did you find us?
No, someone posted your video on Tumblr, and I follow the Tumblr fandom on General Hospital, and that's where I saw it.
That's good. I did not know that. It's good to know. Okay, for us, we don't know what happens. Like, we post on our sites, and I usually later find out, this person. I mean, we never know what happens once we do it. So that's good to know. That's good to know. Now, do you ever watch our show and think, God, I want to say something? Like, I want to jump in. I just want to, I agree with Lucretia, but I don't agree with James. Like, do you ever think that?
Oh yeah, I actually chime in when I do watch live. I'm in the chat with everyone, so
okay.
I'm talking back and I'm talking to you guys as well.
Oh, good.
Every now and then I'll get a mention, but I love watching the show live. So
yeah, that's fine. So we have a good time. We have a lot of fun. I can't believe I get to do it for a living. I mean, I can't believe that I get to this is what I do. It's kind of funny, and then we're here in LA near the studio, so we get to actually, earlier today I was talking to Brittany Sarpy on the show. We just had her, and she's lovely, and my second time with her. So it's kind of like,
I love her.
So she's a very nice person, and whenever I call, she's like, what do you need, James? Like, she's super, super sweet, and she's fun, and she just kind of gets it. So you guys out there, as you're listening to this podcast, you can go, the previous one is featuring her. It's on iTunes and Spreaker.com, and you can hear what she says about her and Christina and Parker, her and Donnell Turner, her and Emmy Riley plays Lulu. So some good stuff. So you want to listen to that podcast. We had a great time. So it was really good.
Oh, I definitely will.
Yeah, you can listen to that one. So now, so GH Envy. So first of all, you're in Canada. So you're in Alberta, correct?
Yes.
And
Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
All right. I've been to Montreal on one side, and I've been to Vancouver on the other.
Okay, well, I'm from Montreal originally, but I live in Edmonton.
So because I'm looking at you. What is your ethnic background?
I am half black, half white.
Okay.
My dad's from New York, so African American. My mom's from New Brunswick, from here in Canada.
Wow. So, but you don't have dual citizenship or anything, do you? No.
No.
So you're truly Canadian then. You're totally Canadian.
Yeah.
Yes.
Born here, raised here.
But have you been to New York? Have you been to America? Means to being to the United
I have
States.
been to America. Yeah, I have a lot of relatives throughout America, so I'm there, every few years.
Oh, funny. Well, if you're out to California, you're out to LA, we have to meet.
For sure.
Okay, so how do you guys get General Hospital where you are?
So we still get ABC on our network, so we also have City TV that airs General Hospital as well. And I watch it, I PVR it if I'm at work. But, if I'm home, then I watch it live.
Well, so you guys get it. What time do you guys get it at?
So we have HD channels, and then we get it at noon our time. So
How funny.
I believe, like the same time you are watching it, I believe.
No, we get it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, so I get it at noon.
Okay, so same time. It's funny because there is a General Hospital Canadian group on Facebook.
Is there?
Yeah, I don't know if you knew that. I follow them all the time. I follow them, and they post they live Facebook while the show's on in Canada.
Nice.
So it's something I pass that information on to you because they're on there, so you can see them. There's a lot of members too.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm connecting people. We're going to work that out. So okay, what gave you the idea for? Cause you do other shows too. You like General Hospital.
Yeah.
What made you decide to choose? Because there's 8 million shows out there. What made you decide to choose to do one for General Hospital?
Well, I've been a fan of General Hospital for well over a decade, and I always debated doing an after show for General Hospital, but I was like, how would that work?
Yeah.
I didn't want to do one every day because I wish I had the time to, but I don't. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll do it once a week. And I pretty much went on Tumblr one day, and I had mentioned, I used to have a YouTube channel a very long time ago called Envious01, where all I did was upload daily clips of General Hospital back when it was not taboo to do so.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so people were like, oh, you were Envious One, and like they recognized my channel, and I was like, oh, okay, well, would you guys want me to do an after show? And everyone said yes. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. And then that's how it was born.
It's funny because on some of your views, I was looking at one of them. You have like over 4,000 people looked at one of your. And he does these things. They're really short. So we do an hour on our show, hour and a half. His are under 10 minutes or shorter. And so you get some nice views. So I was like, wow, okay. So I'm curious. It's probably all over the country, probably Canada and America. You probably get them.
Oh yeah, I think the craziest one was obviously when the news of Steve Burton coming back to the show.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yes.
I did a post about that, and that one went crazy.
Yes.
Which was unexpected, but really cool.
Yeah, same thing. When I posted about Steve Burton, it went berserk too. So but Twitter went crazy that week. So it went bizarre. All the liaison fans went crazy. I'm like, where'd they come from? All of a sudden, they're out of nowhere. But that's another story. What's about that? I got some questions for you. That's another story. What's about that in a second? That in a second.
Yeah, I feel like the liaison fans have always been crazy, but I love it.
Yeah, like they're a little. How do you deal with soap fans? Do when they comment? Do you get people? Because we get, of course, the brunt of everything. We get the trolls. We get the people who call us names because we're on television and everything. And we also have really wonderful fans who are so supportive, so wonderful from day one. Because we're celebrating our 2-year anniversary coming up. And I created. Thank you. And I created the show, and I was like, oh my god! And Robert Palmer Watkins is going to be on. That's one of the guests going to come on, and so we're working on some other people. But we get trusted. We get all kinds of you're fat and you're this, and I just wonder, do you get any blowback at all for your commentary?
Not so much, and it's probably only because my following it's not huge, and then the ones that do follow, they're just kind of stating their opinions, and we'll talk back and forth in the comments when they comment. And some of them will comment on Tumblr, and I'm usually live blogging on Tumblr when the show is live too, if I'm watching live. Mm-hmm. So it's that community on Tumblr. They're very friendly. There's never really drama on there. Amazingly, despite different opinions and stuff, we're all pretty good with each other there. And YouTube, it's mostly just people talking about their excitement of the upcoming things. So it's not really I feel like I try to be as fair as I can when it comes to telling the story. And obviously I have my favorites and, my not so much favorites.
Yes.
But, I try to be fair. I think everyone has an opinion on each character, so as long as they can respect mine, I can respect theirs. I'm not going to argue with them. It is what it is.
Where did the envious stuff come from? Where did that come from?
So, my old YouTube channel was called Envious01, and I kind of wanted to pay homage to that with the General Hospital After Show, since it was people that recognized that old channel that wanted me to do the show. So it's kind of like the former Envious1 fans named the show, and I went with it.
Well, what is that? Does the envious or envy mean anything, or just a screen name?
Well, the former YouTube channel, you mean?
Just period. The name itself. Where did it come from? Like, I'm just curious where it came from.
Oh, Envious. Well, this is so long ago, because this was like probably 2008 when I had
Dig back. I'm curious. I like to know origins of things. So where did it come from?
I think it came from, actually, the reason why I got into General Hospital when I started watching was Luke and Laura.
Okay.
Laura had just come back from her catatonic state for I think it was the 25th anniversary of their wedding.
Yep.
And then I ended up binge watching their entire story on YouTube.
Which you can do.
Of the love story. So I think that's where it came from. Just being envious of them.
Oh, okay. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, there's another podcast called Planet Lumina, and it's such a I've been watching since Luke and Laura were on originally, so that's how old I am. And I got the reference because it's a very obscure reference. There was Casey the Alien back in 1990, and Robin, as a kid, met Casey the Alien, and he came from Planet Lumina. So they named their podcast after that. So, folks, if you want to hear that they're on this show too, you want to hear that they go to iTunes, you're going to hear their whole story and their approach to doing their GH After Show once a week also. But I like to hear origins of where people get their stuff from. It's always very cool. Okay, so are you in a basement, attic, mudroom? Where are you in?
I am in my basement in my house for the shows.
That is so funny. I mean, and how did you come to choose that spot?
Honestly, well, I had moved recently, and that particular part of the basement is like the only soundproof area. I live with family, so there's always footsteps and this and that.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a quiet spot where I can shoot it, and the light's pretty good. So I was like, I'll just go here.
Yeah, okay.
There's not much to it.
That's so funny. Yeah, no worries. I'm just very curious. I don't know where you got that from.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a couple of just kind of quick things, and just want your kind of your first opinions of these. You talked about this on your show. We talked about it on our show. Everybody talked about it to death. On Tuesday, coming up, September 19th. Mm-hmm. I guess we're basically going to see Jason, Steve. We're going to see Steve Burton somehow.
Steve Burton.
So, what do you think?
I was an original JSAM fan as well.
Okay.
And then I also really love Billy and Kelly's JSAM. So I'm kind of conflicted, to be honest. But
okay.
I really don't know where they're going with the story, so I don't have much of an opinion yet until whatever happens. I think it's great that they have him back on the show.
Okay.
And I'm excited to see him again, but I'm terrified of what the story will be, because there's like every scenario that I can think of, it could be very messy for many different reasons. Like, obviously people want him to play Jason again. We don't know if that's going to happen. And what does that mean for people that love Kelly and Billy's JSAM? So, I don't know. I'm scared, to be honest.
Well, it's funny, because you mentioned on your show about the whole when he brought back Vince and Marcel as Brenda, and that storyline was atrocious, which I agree with you. Totally agree with you. So for me, and people know this, and you save your tweets because I don't care. I'm not Jay Sam fan. I think they're boring, have no chemistry. And what's funny is, and this is how I feel about them. I think they're phoning it in. I'll tell you something. I do think though, Kelly Monaco is killing it these days. She has been so good. I've been like, oh my god, this chick. We're reminded that she can act. People are like, folks, she can act. And so I give her.
I think they're finally giving her like some meat because she's kind of usually, as much as I am a Jason fan, like she's kind of Jason's, side story most of the time.
Yes.
Just as like worshiper.
Yes. So I'm glad.
Her get her own material.
I agree. So and ironically, her and Billy Miller dated in real life at one point. So it's kind of funny to me that I don't find them. I just think they have no chemistry. So I feel, I say, everybody save your tweets because I don't care. I feel that Steve Burton has to come back. He has to play Jason. He can't play anybody else. It's like it's ridiculous. I compare it to the almost to the Roman Brady John Black story on Days of Our Lives, and to the Tale of Two Todds on Want to Live. I feel like they could do it. They did it before in 2 other soaps. They totally did it, and it worked. Yeah. So like you, I'm scared also because I hope they could really script something and you're right, they're tying in Franco, which I'm like, is that going to be but possibly they're tying in Ava. So I'm like, I saw yesterday's episode. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I don't know is that Steve Burton or is that somebody totally different? Like, there's a whole bunch of things going on that you're right. It's going to be very, and there's not showing Billy Miller's face. You're right. That's weird too.
Yeah, that freaks me out because I feel like they're just screwing with us in a way, and that he's probably just on vacation. But
right.
The timing, man. The timing is throwing me.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of like what's going on? So, but I just my personal feeling is he has to play Jason at some point. I liked Billy Miller when he was playing Jake Doe. I liked him better as that. I enjoyed that storyline. I liked him with Elizabeth. See, I'm not a Frizz fan either. So, and all Frizz fans, save your tweets. I don't care about that either. I love me some Roger Howarth. I have to say it all the time because they'll send me tweets and tell me how horrible I am. I don't care. Roger Howarth, I totally love. I love him.
Yeah.
And he's doing great. He's killing it too these days. And I just don't like them together. I think Franco's creepy. He's a creepy character. Bring him back as Todd Manning. But that's my whole thing. It was like, okay, there's enough Jasons to go around. You get a Jason, and you get a Jason, and you get a Jason. Like, everybody gets a Jason. And I think Elizabeth can have one. She can have Billy Miller. I like their chemistry. Kelly Monaco go back with Steve Burton, and then Franco could go back with Nina. That's how I feel about all that. That's my.
I'm down for that because I am not a Frizz fan either. It's just knowing Franco's history.
Yes.
And his past with Elizabeth. I know brain tumor and yada yada magic DVDs.
Yes.
But it's just when you watch the original story, it's hard to sell that.
I agree.
It really is.
But there are Frizz fans. There are a lot, and
I don't.
My co-host loves it. My co-host Lucretia loves it.
More power to them, but I'm just not one.
I know. My co-host Lucretia, she loves Frizz. So I'm like, and she makes.
And I'm like, Lucretia, I love your Sunny rants, but why?
Yes. And well, trust me, she gets a lot of hate for the Sunny rants too, and love for that too. But no, I feel like he has to come back as. Steve Burton has to be Jason. That's because to me, what's really funny for me is that I didn't see chemistry between Billy Miller and Maurice Bernard either. I just didn't see it. So
yeah, I agree with that as well. I really like Billy Miller with Donnell.
Curtis. Yes.
And I wish that they just kept that going and it just fizzled out.
I know. And of course, everyone has chemistry with Laura Wright, who plays Carly. I mean, Adora could have chemistry with Laura Wright. I mean, she's my favorite actress on the show. I love Laura Wright. She sells Carly like nobody's business. I agree. Because Carly has done. She sells it. There's certain actresses to me. Cause I watch all the soaps. There's certain actresses to me that they put them in ridiculous storylines. They can do all kinds of stuff, but these actresses show up, and that to me is Catherine Kelly Lang on Bold and the Beautiful, who plays Brooke. For 30 years she has shown up. That's Sharon Case on Young and the Restless, who plays Sharon. She has shown up every year and just given, and that is Laura Wright as Carly since she's come on. She just she sells it. You believe it, and
I agree.
And no matter what
not too many people that can do that.
They can't. A lot of people can't, and because she's had a complicated past herself, but it totally works. When she goes off on Nell, it totally works. When she's trying to protect Michael, it totally works. I mean, again, when the Emmys come around again for this next year. If she's not nominated for the After Morgan death scenes, there's something wrong with the world. I think she broke my heart. I mean, she as an actress broke my heart. Those scenes, and actually Maurice Bernard was good too. I mean, they were really good together. Ooh, it was like, and I'll give,
Dominic was pretty good in that story as well as Dante.
I said this on the show. I was like, I love him when he's in storylines,
And they give
not with
him
Lulu.
nothing. They give him nothing.
But when he's not with Lulu, he's great. I love his storyline because he can act. His scenes with Maura West has been killing it too. I mean, that's another actress who sells it. We should not like her at all. And Homegirl sells. I love her. I know she sells it.
Yeah.
But her scenes with Dante, oh my God, I was trying to get her to confess. They were so good. His scenes being conflicted. Yeah. His scenes with Carly. His scenes with Sonny. His scenes with Michael. I mean, just like, he's so good. This actor is so good. Dominic Soproni is so good. He's another one who's underrated completely. He can act also.
I agree.
So he's a good one. Now, I want to say, because we have Robert Palmer Watkins coming on our 2-year anniversary show in 2 weeks on GH Report. And he was our very first guest 2 years ago. So that's why I said, come back on. He's been on this program too. He's a friend of the show. Nice guy. But, he's been let go.
Yeah, that I'm not happy with.
I'm
a diehard Quartermain fan.
Yes.
And they're scarce right now to begin with, so I was just like, that was a big slap in the face.
I agree. I'm glad you said that. On our show, we're Quartermain fans too. And I just think he finally was finding his stride. There's some folks who didn't like him as Dylan. Scott Clifton's not there anymore. He's on Bold and Beautiful, winning Emmys. He's busy. But I liked Roberts. I liked him in Kiki's Romance. I liked the little kind of him and Ned becoming brothers, so to speak. I love that they were showing Quartermains in the house, the male Quartermains. I'm like...
Me too, and I thought, like, when Ned and Olivia got married, like, finally we're getting a resurgence, and then
this,
and I was like, seriously?
I know.
Like, pulling the rug right underneath us, and I'm like, man.
And, of course, we saw her briefly writing a letter, and I'm still stomping my feet, letting go of Rebecca Budig. I mean, talk about an actress who can act, who can do comedy, drama, has chemistry with everyone. I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah, that I was pissed. I was so livid when I heard she got let go.
Yeah, not feeling it. I was like, this is not fair at all. I just couldn't do it. So I'm like, now I've heard the door's been open for a return, of course, and everything, but it just, to me, what they finally gave us the scenes we wanted during her exit.
Yeah.
Her scenes with her father were so good. I'm like, I
know.
And I just let you start on that one. So yeah, I was kind of not happy about that either. And then of course one of the major storylines that just keeps going and going and going. Now I'll give you points. I love some James Patrick Stewart, who plays Valentine, and he's actually a really nice guy in real life. I haven't had him on the show yet or interviewed him, but he and I have talked. But I haven't had him. He's a really nice guy, very smart. I love his portrayal. It's a shame that in the beginning they made him so cartoonish, because we can't forget he killed Nick. So I agree with, because Nicholas Bechtel plays Spencer, the bomb, best storyline of the summer, so good this summer. He's such a great little actor.
I love him so much.
Yeah, I'm having him on the show too. We were in talks to him on the show. He's just such a great little actor. But I just I love his character, but we got to resolve the Nick thing. And so now I heard speculation that Steve Burns is going to play Nick.
Yeah, and I don't are we okay to discuss spoilerish stuff?
I hope it's not true. I mean, it won't work. He can't come back. He can't come back and play Nicholas Cassadine. I mean, no.
I really don't want him to. But I don't know if you've seen it. There's a picture lingering of Steve Burton in that.
I know.
Hoodie.
I know. I know.
I don't know what to think. If that is the case, I'm going to be so mad.
Well, what's so crazy when Soul Twitter went crazy again, when the picture came out at Days of Our Lives, and all of a sudden you see Tyler Christopher at Days of Our Lives. And then he finally announced he's on that show. I was like, oh, this is going to be really interesting. It's going to be really interesting. I watched that show too, and I'm like, and Ron Cavallari's over there now, so he's writing almost cussed. He's writing the F out of that show right now. And so I'm like, oh my God, he's so Nick really. And see, I liked Nick Stabile. I had no problem with his character. He was a different Nick. I thought it worked with Ava. I liked him as Nick. But I guess they didn't want him full time, I guess.
Yeah, I guess not.
I guess not. I was
pretty much. pretty much messed with Valentine as a whole because they brought him on and got him to kill a character off
Right.
that everyone loves. And because it's kind of left in limbo, I think it's really ticking a lot of fans off, to
Yes.
be honest.
Yes.
Like, well, we want to believe he's alive, but there's no actual proof either way. And
Right.
Valentine kind of acts weirdly smug about it, so it's hard to say.
I know. It's funny because, again, so we're talking about fans, and, like, there are the liaison fans that what shocked me was when Steve Burton came out, like he came out of the closet, when Steve Burton, the news came out that he was going to be, like, on the show, I was shocked at the fandom of liaison fans going, Steve and Elizabeth. Wait, Steve and Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Him and Elizabeth. And I was like, oh, I think, I mean, they were together. I mean, their timing's always been off. But I was like, oh, those fans went crazy talk. Yes, they went together. I was like, oh, okay. That's interesting. Soap fans are interesting to me. They're very interesting. Like I said, we're in a little larger scale, but it doesn't matter. Your show gets all you need is one person to talk crap to you. It's very interesting because everybody has their show. Everybody sees it a different way. Everybody has their favorite characters. Soap fans are very, very, very vocal about what they feel. It's very
true.
It's very interesting, and I just hope, and in GH, I mean, I just hope that they really work it out to where most of us can be happy. Everybody's gonna be happy. We know you said on your show, and everybody's gonna be happy. But hopefully, something that's satisfactory. 'Cause I've seen it done before really well, so I think it can be done. I hope.
They just have to put a lot of care into it, honestly. Whatever they choose, I'll write it out, but hopefully, I don't know. It's just got potential to have a lot of plot holes coming up.
Yeah.
And, us soap fans, we remember everything.
Yes.
So one slip is going to, tick everyone off.
I'm about to actually slash my throat right now by mentioning this storyline, but I just have to just say it quickly because I'm curious what you think.
Okay.
Everyone knows. Again, save your tweets. You all know how I hate this storyline more than life itself. Manlanders.
Yeah. Ask Manlanders. Yeah, see, I don't know if you've noticed, but on my show, I tend to avoid just talking about it for the most part.
Yeah, I try to too, but with the fans,
it's kind of awful.
I'm happy to have Kirsten Storms back. She looks great.
Yeah, me too, definitely.
She looks great. I gotta have Spinelli back. He looks great. I like Amy. She's a great. Risa Dorkin's a great actress. She's been on my show. She's a great person. Ryan, of course, is good. But I'm just like, this storyline, I want to slash my neck. Like to hear this. I'm like, can we just end the storyline fast, please?
Yeah, I honestly thought it was just going to be like this summer fluff storyline.
Yeah.
Like it would only be, for the summer until she got back. And it's still going.
Yeah.
And I'm hurting. So, I don't know. Like, I could take it for what it was when I thought it was just going to be like a little brief whatever. But we're still here.
Oh my God, I know.
Still here.
That's okay. So who are you? So what do you do? I mean, do you have a job? Go to school? Like what do you do?
Yeah. So I work in the biggest mall that's in North America, the Westminster Mall. Just in guest services, kind of mediocre job, but I love it.
But wait a minute, it's bigger than the Mall of America in Minneapolis?
Yes.
Oh.
But it's the same owners, I believe.
Wow.
They're
Okay.
They're not really in competition with each other, I don't think. But,
okay.
I work there. And I do video blogs on the side.
Yeah.
Like my after shows, and I do some just video blogs. And most of that is just passionate. Like I love to edit videos, so I just always do it.
Wow, that's very cool. So what are some of the shows you're doing currently right now besides GH?
So besides GH, I started this season of American Horror Story Cult.
Okay, yeah.
So that's just begun, and I'm pretty much almost done. I do a series on my channel called Summer in Yank, and that's where I go around the city of Edmonton where I live and just do as much events as humanly possible that I can in the summer, because we're kind of known for being festival city in Canada, especially in the summer. So I just try to take in as much and sort of capture the magic of each event as much as I can.
Well, that's very cool. And you also had a birthday recently. Happy birthday, belated.
I did. Thank you.
I'm not going to ask you your age, because everybody has their own things about age. I mean, I'm sure you're super young. But
I have nothing. I am 27.
Oh, you're a you're 21 years younger than I am. Yes, you are. You are a child. It's great. I love it.
I'm an old soul, though. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Okay, so you know, so I like that. But that's very cool. I was looking at your page, and I was gonna ask you. I had a question I was gonna ask you. Okay, not that. It's not enough. Yeah, your music is. People, he has music. He has clips. He does all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't just come up there and start talking. He has stuff going on. I can't remember the major. Sorry. Oh, with people commenting. Obviously, people do that. People are commenting on your stuff. Okay, that's right. Okay, so are there any shows out there? I mean, that you think about doing coming up? Because you have AHS, you're doing around GH. Or, do you add other shows every once in a while? You don't do every show obviously out there, but do you ever just decide I like this show, I'm going to talk about it, or is there a criteria, or how does that work for you?
That's pretty much what I do. If I like the show, I'll talk about it.
Talk about it.
No other reason.
I like that. That's very cool. Very cool. So tell folks where they can find you on the interwebs everywhere, so they can actually follow you and follow your shows and stuff.
All right. Well, on YouTube, you can find me at youtube.com/Deon's Corner Vlog. On Instagram, you can find me at DCV_Deon. And then for Tumblr, you can find me at meltintothenight, all hyphenated, .tumblr.com.
Very good. We got some people. You can follow him on there. And on our page on Facebook, James MiniSpotlight, I'll also have I'll have links to his YouTube and stuff like that, so you can actually go straight there and follow and see his stuff. Because I know GH fans are clamoring for content. He has content, so you can watch us, listen to us, watch him, do it all at the same time, do it all after each other, and get your GH fix. I know folks out there like to,
exactly.
they love their show on ABC's daytime drama. Thanks for being on the show, Deon.
Thank you for having me, James.
And one day we're gonna have him on the main show where he can we might Skype you in or something. We're trying to do AfterBuzz is working on all kinds of different things right now, so we're trying to work that out. But yeah, we'll have to have you on sometime, and you can just discuss whether you be a fourth panel member. Almost a third. I was forgetting somebody. A fourth panel member.
Man, I'm so sad, James. I'm so sad you're leaving GH.
I know. It's my life has exploded in so many other ways, and that's why I'm still doing this I'm keeping my toe in the business. I'm doing this podcast. So folks, they'll hold people over at least for a while until maybe I can return or make guest appearances. But fortunately and unfortunately, doing this, I'll tell you something. Doing this show, this was my first show that I produced, created, casted, and pitched to the network. And I will never forget it. But it led me to my life now. I mean, it was my first big thing, and it's led to bigger stuff for me. So in a weird way, it created this thing that I have to leave. It's kind of weird, but that's how life works sometimes. I'm just like you and your show. You don't know who's might see your show and say, "Hey, I want him to do this for me." Life is so wonderfully random that way sometimes, but sometimes it's all divine intervention. I don't know, it's all kind of this kind of stuff. So yeah, I know a lot of fans that have your same set. I'm sure I'm gonna be crying like a baby on the last day, I'm sure. But I hate to. It was a hard decision, and I had to really think. It took me 3 or 4 months to think about it. I had stuff coming up, and as you know, I was gone a lot for a while, last couple months. I have a lot of stuff going on, and it just. Yeah, so I'm sad I'm leaving also, but hopefully folks will continue to watch. And like I said, I may pop in, you never know, here and there. But this podcast I'll still be doing. It won't be video, but I'll be doing this, and I'll still be on there. So I'm gonna. And also, I do have my YouTube channel where I do sometimes JH videos too. So I mean, I will try that also. But thank you for the sentiment. It was not an easy decision, but I love the fans and the Days of Our Lives JH fans are my first fans ever, my first followers. So you never forget your.
Love you too, James.
You never forget your first. We always say, right? You never forget your first.
It's very true.
Yeah, you never get your first. So yeah, thank you for that and stuff. So folks, okay, so you can follow us on iTunes, follow us on Spreaker.com. It's JH MiniSpotlight's audio podcast. There are about, I think, 10 or 11. I can't remember how many are now. There's a bunch there. Now I talk to people like Ian Buchanan, I've talked to Sean Kanan, who played AJ. I've had Risa Dorkin on, Robert Howard Watkins. I mean, just great guests. And Deon Gabriel King is now part of that history as after you listen to this podcast. And you guys out there, have a great week. Thank you. Well, have a great week, you guys out there, and we'll talk to you next time.